All right, let's dive into week 1 of the Structure U Christmas Light Academy. This business basics as week 1, business basic foundation, is for anybody that doesn't have a business yet, or if you're just getting started, maybe you're on year 2, but you don't have some of these things complete yet. And then these things, I'm not acting as any legal advice or anything like that, so I'm not going to tell you exactly what you need to do, because every state, every area is completely different. So I can't, and I don't know where you're at, right? But I'll say too that even though this is a long checklist of things to do, you're gonna hear me say too that none of those things matters if you don't have any customers, right? But if you're thinking more long-term about building a business, then these things absolutely matter. You want to have your business set up. You want to have your bookkeeping done. You want to have your taxes all aligned so you don't have to do time in jail on the weekends, right? You want your banking set up correctly. You want these things done correctly. So if you're in this for the long haul, which if you're paying money now to be part of this, and I think that you do, then maybe just bear it and get these things over with so that once business is rolling, you don't have to worry about these things. There's been times where I've had to go back with the IRS and dispute things because I didn't have all my ducks lined up, or I had to pay them more money. I'm like, oh, this sucks. I should have just done this right the first time. And I didn't really run into that until I sold a business and started this new one. And then it was just kind of like, oh, I forgot to do that, right? So let's just jump in. First is the business setup. And like I said, if you're already in business, some of this won't pertain to you, not a big deal. But first we got to find a business name. Mike Hanks Christmas Lights. Mike's Christmas Light Hanging Company. Doesn't really matter. You can call a business whatever it is. But I know where I'm at too. If I'm going to actually use that name, then I have to do a search to see if that name is available. And usually that's at the courthouse. They'll run it and they'll figure that out. And like I said, some of these things I'm not an expert on. I'm an expert in selling jobs, customer service, building a business. So when I take this for a grain of salt, you can use ChatGPT, you can use Google to find out a lot of these answers. We're also going to be doing an interview with a tax guy and an insurance guy to get some of these other questions answered. So business setup, find a name and decide whether you're going to operate as a sole proprietorship, DBA, or LLC. That's a great question for the tax guy that we will go over, because every situation is completely different. What bracket you're going to be in is up to you. Obtain an EIN number. That's like a legal number for the government to know that your business is legal. If you're doing a DBA, you don't necessarily need that. Just your social security number will be fine. So yeah, and then also in your area, check for any, like if you need licenses, if you need permits, if you need these things. Thankfully, with Christmas lights being a low voltage business, I guess, I don't know, low voltage service, like we don't need to be an electrician for any of this stuff, which is good because I'm not an electrician and I don't want to do that. But where I'm at in Illinois, I don't have to have any special permits. I don't have any special licenses. I don't have to have basically anything. I could go right now and just start hanging Christmas lights and people pay me, deposit it, be good. So, but everywhere you're at is gonna be completely different. Next is banking. I would fully suggest opening up a separate bank account. And if you're going to be a DBA or sole proprietorship, just open it up as Mike's Lights, right? And so whenever you get done, you set up this account at the bank and say, I'm setting up this business account because I'm going to be, doing this business, right? And so they're going to have it all separated so that now, when you have income and somebody pays you for a job you're complete, you put that into that account. If you have expenses, you need to buy some lights, it comes out of that account. Keep everything separate from your personal account. It's so much easier at the end of the day when it comes to tax time to separate things. And these are things that somebody asked too, and this will be a great question for the tax guy. Should I separate my current business with the new Christmas light business? I'm going to say yes, even though I didn't do that. I wish now I would have, and maybe I've got a call scheduled with my tax guy. I'm going to say, hey, should we do this, right? So that's a good question to ask. You'll get a debit card with this business. Use the business account for business expenses. Do not mix your personal with your business. There's a line in there, right? There's a gray area. And this is a great question for the tax guy. Where and what you can write off. There's a guy walking back there. Where and what you can write off for your business. There's a gray area. I told my tax guy, I don't want to do weekends in jail. Tote that line as much as you want, but like I said, I don't want to do weekends in jail. I want to give the government what they need, but no more, right? Set up your online banking. That way you can go through and you can look at this stuff. Deposit, like I said, deposit all customer stuff. Sorry, somebody text me. Keep everything separate. So yeah, go to the bank, get a DBA, however you're going to structure it, bing, bang, boom. None of this stuff is actually hard either. You just got to put in the work to do it. Insurance. So we will be discussing this with an insurance guy who is going to say, this is the coverage you need. This is how to go about it. The guy that I'm going to interview, we're getting together soon, and it'll be on here. I don't know what my coverage entails. I just know that also in 18 years, I've never had an insurance claim. Knock on wood. I don't want this to be the first year. But he's going to walk you through work comp, your general liability, things like that. Because you need to have, you just need to be covered, right? Oh, as much as I hate insurance, I hate everything about insurance. And I'll tell him that I hate insurance. But if there's something that happens you can't control, it's better to have it. But if you're going to be a one-man band with if you're going to be a one-man band, you don't have to have work comp in Illinois where I'm at. Like I just have to sign off on it, right? But insurance, let me just go through this. Ask whether work comp is required, verify commercial auto coverage, understand what your policy covers and excludes. So yeah, we'll talk more in depth with him about that. Another one, taxes and bookkeeping. We're also going to have a section on here, the tax guy. I was supposed to do it today, but it did not work out. But one of the other things when it comes to banking and your bookkeeping, whether it's QuickBooks, just a basic spreadsheet, however you want to do that, if you want to do it by hand with a general ledger, whatever you need to do to keep track of everything is going to be so much easier and beneficial for you come tax time. Because that tax guy is going to also, like I said, walk us through whether it's an LLC, DBA, sole proprietorship, how much you should be setting aside for every dollar you earn, right? We want to know those things. What's the best way to keep this under wraps? Is it QuickBooks? There's some free programs out there for your accounting. You can do that too. And if you make a lot, just hire the tax people, right? I don't know. I think I pay my guy like $400 a month to run everything. So that's what, almost $5,000 a year. But also it's not something that I want to spend my time doing as a business owner. I would rather be out selling and doing jobs than messing with any of this stuff. So as I spoke, all this stuff is kind of like redundant, like we don't care. I get it. I don't care either, but we have to do it. As far as business owners, we have to take that responsibility and do those things. So yeah, before your first job is even scheduled, you need to legally be set up. And this is for, if you've been following me enough, like, I have to say this, right? You have to do these things. You have to have your business legally set up. Business bank account is active. Insurance is in place. Bookkeeping system is ready. And now you know how to collect for customer payments, right? That stuff is all said and good. We need to do those things, especially if you're going to be in this for the long term. Because the great thing about this business, say this year you only do 10 jobs and you retain 90% of them. Say you do 10 jobs at, let's just say $1,000. Let's just say 500. Okay, so you did $5,000. Next year, you retain 80% of that. So next year, you retain 90 customers at $500. $4,500 is already on the table. You don't even have to work for. The lights are already paid for. All you have to do is contact the customer and say, hey, you want your lights up again? However that script is, we'll go over that. And now you're in business. Every year it's growing. Say you only do 10 jobs a year at $500, but you continue to grow that. And we'll do the numbers on what that looks like, 90% after 10 years. Because you could do that in a weekend, right? Like an extra, and then once it continues to grow over 10 years, now you're making an extra 50 grand in a couple months. Like that's cool. But I would like to challenge you guys to start thinking bigger, because this has the opportunity to grow into a lot more income, right? This stays here, but like last year we did 180 jobs. I did just over $180,000 in revenue. Maybe it's 170. I don't remember off the top of my head. I'll have to look. But we're averaging almost $1,000 a job. Some of them are big, some of them are small, right? I still do jobs in the $300 to $500 range, and also I do a few big jobs that are in the $7,000 to $8,000 range. We have one that's like $15,000. So I'm here to say, continue to grow. And if you're going to grow it the right way, do these things first, have these things set up in place. Because the thing that sucks too, you're going to have like insurance on your vehicle, right? A lot of insurance agents, and we'll verify this with the insurance guy, they don't want to write you just a short-term policy. They want you to keep the policy all year long, because, before I even open my mouth on that, we'll let him answer that. But that's the basic business checklist we're doing week 1, the business foundations that you need to get started. And like I said, we'll have videos up here for the tax and insurance guy. But for now, let's rock and roll. This is it. Let's go.